In order to be a good code sleuth, you need to be able to examine the scene of the code. When a professional Java developer looks at code, they quickly scan for four things. Thankfully, because of the way Java is set up and used, these four elements of the code are pretty much always in the same place. So all you need to do is train yourself to look in these four locations. We start with a file. A file is for storing specific functionality related to something your application is going to do. Each file contains a class that will, by convention, carry the same name as the file. Now, classes are one of the coolest parts about Java, or any other language we would refer to as object-oriented, but we're not going to get into them right now. You don't need to know any specifics about what a class is or how it works at this point. Just store that away as one of the core questions of your ongoing detective work. For now, all you need to do is train yourself to recognize the location of a class inside a file. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. In a class, there are two basic sections of code. At the top are the attributes. You might also call these properties. They're basically the substance of a class. They are the things. For example, a car class might have a certain number of wheels as an attribute, or an animal class might have a species attribute. Below the attributes, you'll find the methods contained within a class. The methods are the most powerful part of application development. These contain the actual functionality of your application. In our previous example, that scrolling I was able to do, the requesting and receiving data from Facebook, all of that functionality is housed in the methods of the code of that application. In fact, most of the clues you will use to solve any code mysteries you find will come from your ability to interpret and understand methods. So that's it. That's Java. You have a file that contains a class, and the class contains both attributes and methods. Don't believe me? Here it is. As you can see, each part of the code has its own particular section. So as you develop your skills as a coder, you will understand how important it is to stick to a convention in which you put the attributes at the top, followed by the methods, and each class is named after its appropriate file. This is what you do. You train your eye to look at the class, to examine the attributes, and to scan the methods. It's what professional developers do, and it's what you're going to learn to do now. But before you can dive into methods, you have to learn the lay of the land when it comes to coding, and that is syntax. We'll go over that next.